Hello guys, our today's topic is history of the periodic table. Learning points. State the name of the key periodic table scientists. Describe the theories for each scientist. Explain the structure of modern periodic table. Let's take a trip through time. In 1803, John Dalton theorized that atoms of the same element are the same. Dalton arranged all the 20 known elements in the order of their atomic weights, now known as the relative atomic mass. There were 20 elements in his early version of the periodic table. On your right hand side, you can see the list of elements which he arranged according to the atomic weights. Now, problems with Dalton's model. The properties of the elements did not match up with the arrangement of the elements. There were no patterns of similarities between the elements. He just arranged it according to the atomic weights. That's it. Question time. John Dalton arranged his elements by number of electrons, reactivity, atomic weight, or alphabetically. Think of an answer and then check it whether you're correct or not. If you answered atomic weights, then you're correct. Moving on, in 1817, John Dobereiner found elements with similar properties and put them into groups of three called the triads. This idea occurred when he discovered that strontium had an atomic weight halfway between calcium and barium. You can check in here that strontium has the weight halfway between calcium and barium. These elements in each triad had similar properties: lithium, sodium, potassium. Three were the triads, and all these elements had similar properties. Similarly for phosphorus, arsenic and tin, so on for chlorine, bromine and iodine. There's a question for you. Dobereiner sorted elements in triads containing three elements with same number of protons, three elements with different properties, three elements with similar atomic weights, or three elements that had similar properties. Pause the video, think of an answer, and then check your answer. If you answered fourth one, that is three elements that had similar properties, then you're correct. In 1865, John Newlands noticed that elemental properties repeated every eighth element when elements were listed by relative atomic mass. His groups of 8 are known as octaves. He constructed his periodic table, but to keep the octave pattern, he would sometimes have to put two elements in the same box. Problems faced. He constructed his periodic table, but to keep the octave pattern, he would sometimes have to put two elements in the same box, like cobalt nickel. This, this, and this. this. Some elements that were placed had totally different properties, for example, oxygen, sulfur, and iron. In here, you can see iron has completely different properties from oxygen and sulfur, yet they were placed in the same column. Question time. Newlands sorted the elements in groups where every dash element showed some similar properties. Pause the video, think of an answer, and then check. If your answer is 8, then you are correct. He gave the rule of octaves. Dmitry Mendeleev. In 1869, Mendeleev took 63 elements and arranged them by their relative atomic masses and chemical and physical properties. He left gaps for the undiscovered elements and predicted their properties as well. The element germanium was later discovered and it matched with his predictions. He proposed the most widely accepted model for the arrangement of the elements. He did this by placing the elements in a table using their properties and atomic weights, sorting them into 7 groups, leaving gaps for undiscovered elements, predicting the properties of the undiscovered elements. The undiscovered elements were named with the prefix Eka. Mendeleev also predicted the properties of Eka boron, which is now called scandium, Eka silicon, which is now called germanium, and Eka manganese, which is now called technetium. The discovery of the elements confirmed Mendeleev's predictions. Mendeleev swapped the order of elements by atomic weights to fit them into groups of similar properties. He swapped the position of iodine and tellurium. This was due to isotopes that were not known at that time. In 1890, William Ramsay discovered the noble gases. Noble gases took a very long time to discover as they were so unreactive. The existence of noble gases confirmed that there was a further group of elements. Group 0, the 8th group, was added onto Mendeleev's table. Question time for you. Choose the correct answer from the bracket to explain how Mendeleev organized the elements in his periodic table. Read the passage, fill in the correct one, and then check your answer. If these were your answers, then you're correct. Well done. If the answers were wrong, go back to the previous slides, check it, try to retain it, and then again answer it. In 1913, Henry Moseley was very precise with his organization of elements. He used an electron gun to shoot at the elements, which gave off X-rays. He then ordered elements by their atomic number rather than their relative atomic masses. Now, while preparing, just make a list of all the scientists and how they arranged their elements by atomic weights, then atomic weights with similar properties, and then by atomic number. The modern periodic table. Rows are called periods. Moving from left to right is a period. Columns are called groups. Moving top to bottom is group. Non-metals are to the right. Right hand side are non-metals. Metals are to the left and center. Also, in the previous lectures, we saw that there is a staircase, and from that staircase, if you go to the left hand side, they all are metals. If you go to the right hand side, they are all non-metals. Now, the main thing is the modern periodic table is ordered by atomic number. The arrangement has been done according to the atomic numbers. Then, elements in the same group have similar properties. For example, sodium, potassium, lithium, rubidium, they all will be having same properties. That is why they are in the same group. Similarly, if you take beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, all these will have similar properties because they are in the same group. That was all for today's lecture. For related questions, do check out YouTube Shorts or Instagram page.